It's hard to understand the way that you went out. I bet you're living with a little hint of doubt. Maybe next time when you gotta show your hand, you won't cut and run, you'll finally make a stand. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Existential questions always get you down. All you want to know is are we lost or found? Is there something that you feel you need to chase? I bet you thought you put me in my place. 'Cause I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. We're not through. Yeah, I know it's true, I'm finally getting to you. You can run, you can hide, but inside, I'm finally getting to you. Yes, it's true. I still love you, but I am getting to you.
Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5,
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1. Mark.
Welcome back to the Resupply with me, Guy Next Door.
Me, DK.
And me, Than.
Bringing you your, not your weekly foot fetish content, but rather your weekly double tap of all things Space Marines and Laser Force. That cracked me up, actually. Dunks, that both cracked me up and threw me off.
I mean, to be fair, we don't have a lot of content developed, so, I mean, we could get into a niche topic for this week. You never know.
I don't want to talk about that one, though, because... but it just so it's good that you're here, Dunks, because I'm gonna show off some fancy new toys shortly. But hey boys, nice to see you. It's very nice to see you both. How you guys going? Good? You good?
I mean, yeah, for us, yeah. Do a quick, mental health minute that we, haven't done in ages. I got punched in the face during my therapy session on Monday, and I'm still kind of recovering from that. So I dodged a layoff and got punched in the face with therapy in the space of like 4 days, because the layoff dodge was Thursday and then the punch in the face was Monday. So I'm having a great week.
You're feeling tippy top.
I still say therapists shouldn't be punching people in the face, but that's just me.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You know what? Some people are really into tough love, and that's just the kind of environment you have to learn to roll with, I guess.
Yeah,
that is real niche.
Super niche. Yeah, well, that's So yeah, so definitely still processing. It was one of those, and for anybody who's done any therapy, which I think is, a decent amount of the people in our chat at this point, as well as us, how every so often you get that one thing that gets said that literally like forces you to like rethink and reframe like almost your entire life.
Your hair looks
Yep.
dumb. Yeah.
I mean, a punch to the face is probably about as good a way to describe that as anything, but yeah.
Yeah, that was Monday. So
What a start. What a start to the
what?
week.
Yeah, what a what a start. But I've got 9 days off now. I'm on vacation, so we're good. Like I can recover and process and
Hell yeah.
move along with this and try to integrate it into my life.
Just don't do a DMT trip, probably, over your next 9 days, because it might be a secondary punch in the face for you. You're calling
Is that
us...
a new street drug I'm not familiar with?
Yes, it's Riz or whatever the hell that word is, which I can't remember. Yeah. Hey, DK, your hair looks nice.
Oh yeah, thanks. My wonderful hairstylist Autumn was nice enough to fix up my hair today and give me also an impromptu therapy session that involved less less face punching, but is still kind of a needed ingredient in the self care because it's been a tougher couple of weeks, as happens mid semester, and it's like, okay, I want to make this clear: the students do not cause me to be depressed. Like, I have depression. That's just a fact of life. But
Yeah.
yes, there are times when it's like I get really busy during the semester that can kind of be triggered, and it can send me to some kind of rough spots, and it's not great. I think I'm kind of over that hump, but it's like just a whole confluence of factors between like it's busy grading season, uh, like the world is just kind of generally shitty right now
Valid.
with like
With
people
everything.
just doing bad things, and like me inadvertently giving myself more work because I kind of told you guys about this. I don't know if I shared the story on air that I was just trying to throw a conversation out there to some of my work colleagues about AI use in higher ed, and what are we doing to talk to students about it? What is ethical AI use within an academic context? All that kind of stuff. Just trying to start the conversation. All of a sudden, I've essentially become like the resident AI expert in my division of the college. Suddenly, I'm like, I'm not even claiming to know really anything more than anybody else, but it's like, yes, can you please be on this academic senate task force? Do you want to join this learning community that's related to AI? And I'm like, okay, it's an important topic, sure, but also remember I'm just a part-timer, guys, and I'm not getting paid a whole lot extra for this. So A, please don't make a lot of demands on my time, and B, I'm not even saying I'm like an enthusiast for AI. Like, quite the opposite. If I could nuke ChatGPT into the sun, I probably would. But you roll in the world that you got. So it just is what it is.
Wow. I mean, the boys have come in and just full of
Swinging,
energy.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're here to punch people in faces.
Well, I mean, I feel sort of on the contrary. I feel pretty good at the moment.
Good. Someone is.
Healthcare is kicking off. It's great.
At least one of us is in a good place at this point. And actually, the thing is, I don't even think DK and me are necessarily in bad places.
No.
Right now. I just think you're in a better place than either of us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's in New Zealand. We already knew that.
Oh man.
Also valid.
There's some discussions going around in my household at the moment around our future resident, kind of like our neighborhood opportunities and whatnot, and there's some stuff that's got me real excited, really excited. but I feel good for a change. Like I think since my surgery, man, like it's legit life changing.
Quality of life has gone up.
Oh
It's
yeah,
good
man.
when
Yeah, yeah,
certain
yeah.
medical interventions can make that happen.
Well, I mean, it was what 5 years almost, 5 years of some bullshit, and I was sort of in the process of like, oh man, it might just be that's what life is gonna be like from now on. But I feel very good. I'm in a regular you know exercise regime. I have been now for almost a month, and I feel much better because of it. So
It's awesome, man.
doing some weights this week. Just
Nice.
loving it. Just absolutely loving it. But yeah, I thought I would talk today about a couple of things because you know we got maybe not so much housekeeping, but there's a lot of little things that we can kind of bring up and talk about and stuff today. One thing that happened this week, that I'm real excited about. We actually let's preface this with a conversation that we had with friend of the show, legendary laser tag enthusiast Tivia Chick. So some of you know Tivia, exclamation Tivia in chat if you want to check out her content. But she's basically the undisputed queen of laser tag. She had us as guest on her show this week. I think the episode dropped yesterday.
Today.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Depending which time zone you're in, it might have been yesterday, it might have been today, depending on which side of the date line.
The point being,
It's available on YouTube now.
yeah.
The episode with us is live on whatever, however you consume podcasts.
And we brought our own true brand of resupply magic to the show when we had to nuke the show halfway through because of technical difficulties on the part of our host. So it was still a resupply show. Couldn't be one without some technical difficulties.
Exactly.
Sorry, Tivia, but that's what you get for that.
You know, it was a good mix of technical issues and clowning by the three of us. Well, you know, mildly clowning. But I had a really great time. I don't know about you boys, but I really enjoyed myself on the show, and I had to listen to it actually last night and really enjoyed it. It was entertaining.
That's very unlike us. Obviously, that was all down to the quality of the host and not the guest.
She's so good, man. You talked about obviously she's got history.
She actually works in radio. She does sales and marketing for radio and also is on air talent as well. And it's very clear, you know, when
Not just a wannabe hack like us.
three wannabe hacks all doing a live show versus her very polished presentation of things. It's like, oh right, we're just a bunch of clowns, and she's here just like directing traffic and very subtly and smoothly transitioning things instead of where we just go like, yeah, we're transitioning.
We yell segue and then
So but yeah, no, I mean she is definitely pretty fantastic as far as that goes, and the fact that her pod covers everything, like very highly recommend. I mean, obviously we link it every time we talk about her, but you know, if you have an interest in laser tag outside of just Force, and I mean that is allowed, we're not going to, you know, shun you too much for that. She is 100% the podcast you should be listening to, because she has people
excellent.
on from everywhere.
Yeah, she's very, very good. We should start to give a little paid for Fireball DK, raise some funds for a bookshelf for some books and some toys.
They're just in other rooms. It's just the one I haven't managed to fill with crap yet.
Do you want some?
Give it time.
Yeah, I'm finding some space. Speaking of filling it with crap, the reason, one of the reasons to bring up Tivia, not only is she a legend and she very graciously invited us to speak about ourselves in the show on her podcast, but one of the things that we talked about on the show was the I would say the opportunities that our show facilitates for us. And what I mean by that is I have an idea and then we just do a new thing for some reason.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a good idea, but it's, these ideas happen. Anyway, one of the things that came out of this show, as you all well know, and I forgot to give credit where credit is due, but I think some of the credit is needing to go towards Night Owl, because I couldn't remember if it was my idea or his idea or a combination of the two. But we talked about doing a range of disc golf discs. As some of you know, some of us in the community have started playing disc golf in a big bad way. To the point,
Really?
Yeah.
Really? This is a totally new topic that has never been discussed on the show before.
To the point where I went out, and so I was at the dump shop this week, and I found a massive trophy that's going to be the new Laser Force Disc Golf Association Championship trophy. I don't have it in the room with me, but that's essentially what it looks like. You can kind of see it there. It's large and in charge. We're gonna start. I think there's rumblings of us playing this competition next year in April. So if anyone's in the Melbourne area wants to come play disc golf with us.
You can tell how Steve's priorities have shifted, that he gets the huge disc golf trophy, and I still have my small little rinky-dink Laser Force trophy.
Yeah, but that's because you've got to split that one trophy between six people.
Yeah, you needed to get like 30 of those things.
Plus that one, that one I found at the rubbish dump. So, we're gonna play LF DGA competition once a year, maybe. At least down here. But part of playing disc golf, we were like, why don't we do like a range of resupply disc golf discs, which I would say cleverly, but it's not that clever, have named the Resupply disc golf range. But they arrived this week and they look badass. So that's the first one there. That is the Resupply Space Marine Distance Driver. It's got a really nice metallic finish to the design. As you can see, all the Space Marines logos are in there, and it looks fucking awesome. And then we have the phaser, the Resupply phaser fairway driver. Did a bunch of them in this lovely gold color, and then some of them are in the swirl. And then finally we have the putter, which is this one here. This is the Resupply double tap putter. They came out really, really cool. So
yeah, they did.
For those of you who bought some of these, I will endeavor to have them shipped this week. I had a bunch sitting on my doorstep waiting for a courier who never came for 2 days. So hopefully people will start getting them as of next week, or they'll start being shipped. But I love them, man. They look so cool, and they probably wouldn't have been a thing if it wasn't for this community being like, yeah, bro, you should do that random thing. So appreciate you guys, being
Shut
like,
up
hey,
and take my money.
yeah. Your weekly, what about RFIDs? Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter for you guys because you can't use them anyway. But that one's been put on the shelf. Only because, yeah, sorry, bro. Only because I have to do 100 and shipping is difficult. But maybe I'll put some time aside over the Christmas break to actually get that sorted. But yeah, boys, that's it's really cool. They look amazing. Especially I love the Space Marine. The Space Marine should hold a special place in
It's pretty cool.
this community's heart.
I mean, I think the picture that you posted in the Discord with the putter being glow in the dark, that was cool. I'm not gonna lie. That was like, oh, that's actually. I mean, it's not gonna make me buy a set, but
Well,
it's real
too
fucking
late.
cool.
Unfortunately,
whether or not Steve should have made them with uranium in them, that's another question. I'm sure it won't be that bad long-term exposure.
yeah, you'll be all right. It'll be fine. So yeah, speaking of like creating stuff, the other thing I wanted to do a very special shout out to one Lucydon in chat. Lucy has obviously contributed a bunch of artwork to the Resupply channel.
Yes, she has.
As you can
And it's
see,
fucking awesome.
it's really really awesome. You can see them in the emotes in chat. But let me see if this. I think I haven't set that up, so it's probably not gonna be good.
Like anything on this show is
Don't
good.
know what he's talking about.
I mean, come on, bro. Just
What?
throw that thing up there. Come on.
Let
let's go.
me preface this with if you put exclamation merch in chat, that will throw that up. Let me quickly switch across to here. Hang on, where's the button? Transition.
Button.
There we go.
Button.
That worked out all right. That's good to know. So this is the our merch store. This shirt got launched today. This is the Couch Commander t-shirt. We joked about this being a thing like a little while ago. And essentially it's for all of you who sit at home in the chat, who decide to yell things at the screen when you feel people should be dropping their nukes.
Guilty.
This is you.
That's you.
That's you.
Okay, well, guilty as fuck. Guilty as fuck.
So if you want to buy one, you could jump on the merch store and actually buy this in the flesh. And I don't actually know how much shipping is. I don't think it's extremely bad actually, but yeah, that's the new Couch Commander merch that's gone up. So thank you, Lucy, for designing that for us. We really appreciate it because it looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Let's go here. Right, that's enough of the shilling. Maybe for now. What else?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Somebody clipped that. Steve-O said that was enough of the shilling because it's never gonna happen again.
Not something we usually say on this show.
And we're gonna need proof later that he actually said it. So
what do you guys want to talk about?
Well, Stallion already mentioned it in the chat, but big congratulations to the Puteki Teki for winning New Zealand's Bird of the Century contest.
Did you guys see like all of the shenanigans around that?
Oh, I knew about the shenanigans.
I hadn't heard about it until like I think maybe mid last week. We were like,
all of a sudden it just kind of reached a critical mass.
yeah, a bunch of media outlets here, and I don't know if they were serious or not, but there was somebody had said it was like left wing toff John Oliver interferes with New Zealand elections or something. And I was like, what the hell?
Hey, it's an American tradition.
What foreign
interfering in other countries' elections is what we do.
Yeah. But so, for those who don't know, what's the TLDR of what happened there?
Well, I mean, you're the one who lives in New Zealand. You can tell us more about your guys' Bird of the Year contest, since that's just a thing that New Zealanders do because they got cool birds and such.
That's all we have. Like we've got a bunch of native birds, and that's basically it. We've got and maybe a couple of native lizards, but we're cuckoo about birds here in this country. So much so that we refer to ourselves as Kiwis. If it was up to me, I would select the kea. The kea is a much nicer bird. Not the Puteki, because that's a shit looking bird. That's a shit bird. That's a shit bird right there. It's a bullshit Australasian species. I don't even think it's native to here.
The record-breaking number of voters who were very much in favor of it. That might have been influenced by an outside American/British talk show host, but I mean, it's for the lulz anyway. If all you need is an email address to register, it's not like your guys' parliamentary elections work like that. I think.
I hope.
Well, they talked about it and they were like, well, we think it's a good thing because, like, I think there was a bunch more donations that got made as a result.
Yeah, because it's for charity.
Yeah.
It's for like a conservation charity.
Yeah,
right?
exactly
So,
right, exactly. But,
ultimately, it's just for laughs and it supports a good cause. But yeah, it's entertaining.
Yeah, it's really funny when that happens. Yeah, I can imagine the amount of hate, though, that stupid putiki.
I didn't even see a putekiteki when I was there, so I feel cheated anyhow.
Birdie will probably make a better job running the country than the last 10 governments. I mean, yeah, probably, but that's not what this show's about. Actually, so New Zealand-based disc golf. I'm gonna bring it back to disc golf company RPM. All of their artwork is based on like New Zealand native birds, and they have a disc called the Peka Peka, which actually won Bird of the Year, but that is a bat. It's a native bat. It's not a bird, but it's still won Bird of the Year. So,
It's got wings, whatever.
Yeah. So does a like maxi pad though, and that's not Bird of the Year.
Okay, that is the part that should be clipped.
That's next year's campaign.
You're just getting ahead of the story now.
My bad there. My bad.
Anybody who grew up reading Calvin and Hobbes should know that bats are bugs, not birds.
I don't have one sitting there. I thought I might, but I don't. Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. Peka Peka is your most favorite disc. Yeah, it's a good disc. It's a good disc.
God damn it, Steve-O. I love you. God damn it.
New category Bird of the Year, most absorbent.
That might also be the Puteki Teki. Don't they like vomit up a bunch of fish bones and stuff?
Yeah. Ew. Hey, Tro, what's up, dude? Right.
And depending upon when Troy joined, that whole conversation would have just been like, what the fuck am I walking into today?
Yeah.
If not, just watch the VOD. It's fine.
You'd be alright. See how inappropriate Than's being. Thanks, Than.
Oh, fuck off.
Should we talk about some Laser Force stuff? Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, there is a Laser Force event happening this weekend that unfortunately none of us are going to, but hey, people in the community are going in Southern California. Lost World. Is it Lost World or Lost Worlds? I can't remember if it has a plural or not, but you'll find it. In any case, are hopefully going to be joining the SM5 scene. They have some members and an ownership group who are receptive to learning more about advanced games. So some of the people from Sacramento and the Chula Vista area, and even some of the Loveland players are going to be visiting California to give some of those new players a primer on how to play Space Marines and other advanced games. I don't know that it's just Space Marines. That's happening tomorrow, and if it goes well, hopefully this will be a more regular thing, maybe once a month or once every other month. And if other California people can make an appearance, I plan on going hopefully the next time around. But that was also kind of how I knew I just was not in the best place mentally. Was like I can't even bring myself to want to go play laser tag for a few hours. Just had too much shit going on. But best of luck to everybody who's going. I hope it goes well.
Where's Lost Worlds?
So it's in the Los Angeles area, I believe, City of Industry. So that's kind of like
Are you one of those
east of Burbank.
Hey baby. Sorry, I distracted myself with Arrested Development. Right, that's rad. So like LA or potential LA based Space Marine scene would be really awesome because it's such an easy hub for like travelers to get to. It's easy for us. We fly direct to LA for relatively cheap. Not super cheap.
Relatively.
If flight specials end up going back to what they were pre-pandemic, which I doubt they will. Excuse me. But yeah, we could maybe get over there for like 800 return, which would be cool. Have you?
So probably a bit too much for a social night, but hopefully if there's a tournament in the future coming up, that's not unreasonable.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, yeah, always nice to potentially expand the scene, and yeah, I hope that with everybody that's going, and yeah, makes sense to introduce the other advanced games also, because they're gonna need if it's a newer site, and I think it is, like, they're gonna need a foundation before you can kind of step into other things. So yeah, just really hope that tomorrow goes well and smoothly, and everybody who's going is treating the night for what it should be, which is bringing an entirely new site in. Translation: please don't do stupid shit that would fuck up ownership wanting to actually continue to do the thing.
I think it's a good group of folks going.
Yeah.
And hey, you could also listen to a podcast with also starring Guy Next Door from not too long ago on Mischief's channel, talking about recruiting new members to stuff, and there might be useful information there too.
Yeah, pay people off I think was the key point. Make sure you pay people off. I think
I remember that takeaway.
It's really good though, because for those of you who are going, it gives you such a good opportunity to shape a part of the scene in the image that you want to see. So like the way you want the scene to be going forward, it's such a good opportunity for you to kind of live that and help mold that site into that. And I would say that like non-toxic, minimize aggression, all that kind of stuff, respect, all that sort of stuff that is just a good recipe for getting people to want to hang out. You guys had the opportunity to kind of make that first impression and represent the rest of the Space Marine scene, which is really, really cool. It's exciting. And, by the sounds of it, by the sounds of the people that are going, it's in good hands. So
I think it's a good crew. And it honestly makes me really happy to see, especially not even necessarily younger people in our community anymore, because again, it's like young relative to us old farts. Yeah, sure. But, but people who are kind of the next generation of players, that they are stepping up and organizing these events. So it makes me feel like there's a good future and a good foundation that's out there, that even when some of us inevitably at some point in the future start transitioning away from the scene, that there are people who are willing to continue the tradition, to bring in new people, and to just keep the game going.
You made a good point about it on Tivia's pod, actually, because you said you made a point about like trying to move people away from saying that the scene is dying.
Yeah.
So there was two things I really liked what you said, and if you want to listen to the podcast in its entirety, exclamation Tivia in chat, or look up Tivia Loves Laser Tag on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know her YouTube link, but anyway, the 2 points were, one, just because those of us who are older, who are starting to move away from playing on the regular or playing at all, just because we're doing it doesn't mean that people aren't replacing us, and aren't there to kind of fill in. And the other thing was, you said the people that are starting to step up and organize these things are the age that we were in, like, say, 2010. and that bummed me out a little bit, but also at the same time got me really excited, because, like you said, like, we keep referring to the Loveland kids, not
as kids.
Yeah, not children. Different by any
fully
means.
functional adults with their own lives and priorities.
And also like ambition and competencies, and fuck off, fucking Windows alerts. Oh, go
And
away!
And then Steve just got Tourette's in the middle of the show.
You do have a lot of kids, but we refer, like, I mean, whenever I think about you, Tucker, I think about you as a teenager, but you're not a teenager. Unfortunately, you are now starting to become decrepit and old. But you're doing awesome work. Like, yeah, it's great. So you make a lot of really good points. In that conversation, but yeah, it makes me excited to hear about these events and stuff. Troy,
Just call it the decrepit and old cast from now on.
we'll do another show that's called that. It's so weird. My knee started making this sound.
we can get Traj on. Yeah, I'll make.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to use a computer. The old men's council.
Click on the AOL icon.
What's owl? Night owl?
Night owl.
I got to see him, but I'll talk about that shortly. So when's that happening? Next week? Tomorrow?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I hope they have a good time. I hope that the like local scene, like jumps on board or gets excited about playing, or whatever.
I hope so. I mean, even if they don't have a lot who are from the site, even if they only got 4 or 5 people who are regular players at the site to observe that, they can then sort of spread the word to other people, being like, hey, we did this really cool thing last weekend, and people are going to come back in another month, so let's work on learning some of this stuff in the meantime. Hopefully that's how it goes.
And then also, I mean, with Luke being there, I don't see any way this doesn't happen. But also let them know, hey, there is a wider community, and here are links to the wider community. Luke should obviously be publicizing his podcast that he's been doing, because his content is freaking great.
Excellent.
Hopefully he will say, oh, and there's these old guys that do a podcast about Laser Force as well, and get
any idiot can make a podcast, and so many of us did.
We just combined it, so there's 3 of us on one show, so we didn't have to do 3 separate podcasts. We just combined it into one.
Just because you're early doesn't make you good. We weren't first, were we?
From a Laser Force perspective?
Yeah.
Pretty sure we were.
What about, surely not a laser tag? Surely there's other better laser tags.
I'm sure. Well, Tivia was doing media stuff long before we did. I don't know if she had like a podcast back then, but she was already running the blog, was sharing videos. I consider that as close to whatever you want to call social media.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, if you include that, then she far precedes this dumb show. But yeah, it's good though. Like, the amount, I was thinking about it after we spoke to Tivia, the amount of outlets there are for people to have, like, I listen to sports podcasts and stuff during the week, and I'm like, wait, well, I mean, I've got a lot of content now that is stuff that I am directly involved with and love. So yeah, just listen to that instead. It's fun. Listen to my friends on the other side of the world talking about stuff that I love. It's cool.
Getting different perspectives, because we are not the be all and end all, however much we may think we are sometimes. But no, I'm really looking forward to hearing the reports back from everybody, and hoping that maybe we start seeing a few more new names in chat as well, as they publicize these things out. Just be really cool.
Yeah. Any exposure for the scene as a whole is a good thing. So any little part that we can play in that's always good. And just I would implore you, if you have a creative itch that needs scratching and you want to start your own whatever it is, you should. Absolutely, you should. Just do it. You want to create your own range of disc golf discs? You should do that.
You will find support for that endeavor on this show.
Dude, so I had I had a conversation with a cousin of mine this week, and we were talking about like this. So I want to build a disc golf course just down the road from me.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I've already like mapped it out. We've played it before. It's fun. It's good. But I thought we could maybe, if they are like, nah, we don't want to do that, we could come at it from a what if we put in a bunch of different art installations, right? That happen to also be functional as disc golf baskets. Because I live in a fairly affluent suburb of Auckland, and
You do. That's accurate.
They've got this. I don't know if you remember seeing it, DK. Did we catch the boat? You caught the ferry with us into town, right?
I unfortunately was not there when you caught the ferry into town,
right?
Because I think you did that on some days either that I wasn't there or that I was staying with someone else.
That's right. Well, they have this thanks, darling. They've got a thing. It's like a sculpture they've put on the wharf down there, and this thing costs like $150,000 to install, and it is shit. It looks so ugly, and I figure I could install some ugly art for $150,000. Could probably do it for like significantly less than that, but
You could probably do 9 installations for
for less than that.
or far less than that, and possibly even 18 of them.
You can tell
baby.
Ruan you finally found a use for Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. Hollow his gut out and just put a basket in there. Jar Jar, not Ruan. But yeah, it's stuff like that. You should go out. Just your creative whims are. It's really fulfilling to scratch those itches. So if you got something you're thinking about doing, just do it. See if you can make it work. Shit, there was something I was gonna say. Oh, I was gonna. You said Troy before, like a normal night of Brisbane, the toxicity stuff. One of the things that So we talked to Boom Train on the podcast last week, aka
Yep.
Jared, and one of the things he mentioned was how not toxic he felt that members night was. And I got the same sort of vibe. Like, obviously there was a little bit here and there of, hey man, you tracked me or whatever. But the night has such a good vibe. And he was like, I really enjoyed it to the point of like, I think I might come back on the regular if that's what it's going to be like. Because it was really pleasant to be there. And, so if you can cultivate the atmosphere like that, especially with like a new site, then you should, because it'll pay dividends. It's calmed down a lot and people leave it in game. It's good, man. It's good. It's such a better way to be, because when it's positive like that, people actually want to be there. They want to come back. They want to hang out. They want to be a part of it. It's great. He came back this week. And Pat came, as in like Big Pat.
Wow,
that's awesome.
That was a
Wow.
blast from the past.
So good, man. So good. What else were we gonna talk about? I can't remember. I had
About other potential features that we could implement in Gen 8, since you had your whole conversation about the fitness trackers and whatnot.
Yeah, I just hope with that one at least that they sort of give it a little bit better utility, and by that I mean maybe Laser Force, Foos Brother Pat. Wow, that's awesome, dude. Maybe what Laser Force could do as a side note is develop a very basic app, a partner app for stats, for better like awards, for potentially buying games at a site, concessions, like, and it might take a little bit more work than what they're willing to do, but I think if they had some sort of app that properly linked the sites or gave more usability with the system at people's home sites, I think that'd be a really cool thing.
Well, I don't think Maniac would probably charge more than 250, 300,000 to acquire LF stats. So just get on it.
Just get on it.
You can just buy it straight out from under him.
Yeah.
You'll get all of the LF stats glorious compatibility.
Put
for
a
your
disc golf
app.
basket on it.
Well, so one of the things that I know, Salesforce has done with one of the newer versions of software is the direct integration into essentially point of sale and redemption systems. So so it's not really that much more of a step to add some additional functionality for if the facility itself has an application. I don't necessarily know that a Laserforce specific application for that makes sense, but if Laserforce has the APIs available for a site to hook into to make use of that, that's probably more where that makes sense. Laserforce probably doesn't want to be in the business of maintaining their own mobile app, because that just gets that potentially just gets messy. But if you provide the hooks into the system so that a facility can do all those things from within their own stuff, like that to me seems like something that scales better. Oh my god. For any of you playing corporate bingo with that last 60 seconds,
Ooh.
I think you might have bingo
Hey, mate,
after that.
you want
Jesus
another punch in the face?
You didn't say synergy.
Connectitude.
Right. If they have the API that the sites can connect into, then it can definitely synergize better with their existing
All
infrastructure.
right, partial credit.
Oh, love it. Partial credit.
Can't-
You guys are both
can't
rocking it.
That will yield a winning hypotenuse to your cash flow.
Can't
that's
you
the
tell
one
that
with the
one of
horn.
us? Can't you tell that one of us works in corporate America and one of us?
One of us makes fun of corporate America.
Correct.
It's all about understanding the scope and the reach. But if they did have an app, right? They had an app that would connect to your membership. Part of the reason why I think at least from an outsider's perspective, that some sites don't push membership is because it's such a pain in the ass to gather the information from the customer and then actually print the cards out and all that stuff. So I think what they tried to do was have have touchscreen kiosks at site where customer puts in their details, etc. If you had an app, and they're like, oh, you just use a QR code, you scan, you download the app, and then everyone all at once can put their own details in and create their membership that way. Like, that would be way easier, and seemingly way more like, what's the word? Where something
Efficient?
that's the
Synergy.
word. Far more efficient than having people stand in a queue waiting to put their details in. And also, if somebody's willing to download an app, they've got kind of more of a buy-in. They're buying into the site as a whole. So I don't know, like, depending on how much it costs, the cost analysis that needed to be done, will. But it seems kind of like a good idea. Laserforce, do that. Bring me on as your ideas guy. I'll be your ideas guy. But yeah, if you could get people just creating, doing all of that stuff off their own phones, that seemingly is way better. Speaking of corporate America, that is part of why Lost Worlds is so important. What?
I'm assuming.
Explain yourself.
I'm assuming that it's a corporate FEC.
Yeah, right. Consultant.
That would be
exactly.
So if
That
we
would be-
could
that'd be my
really just
assumption.
inject Space Marines into their whole corporate ecosystem, then we'd really be made. So, yeah, make a good impression, guys.
Do you know what else would be really cool? So if you had an app, and as far as I'm aware, the Gen 8 suits do have some sort of GPS something.
Well, they have to at least be able, if the fitness tracker is on there, it has to have something that's like a rough pedometer. And since radiation storms are a thing, it has to have at least some kind of proximity sensor that interacts with other electronic stuff. So Yes, between those two things, if you can measure distance and like speed, then yeah, you can do
So
those things.
then what you could do is if a parent sends their kid in and they have the kid's membership tied to the app on the parent's phone, they can watch their kid in real time on a map running around the maze. Like, that would be really cool. That's a good idea. My consultancy fees are very small, Laser Force. And you get like
we got Steve Lon Musk over here with all pie in the sky ideas.
you wait till I bring out Phaser Coin. It's gonna be sick. Apparently they bought
To
in
the moon.
they bought in full. They bought in full for Laser Force right before Gen 8 was dropped to. He bought into Gen 7. They wouldn't let him trade in having for a few. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't really. Yeah.
Yeah, that was some other tea that got shared. Unfortunately, I think the owner was not real happy about that situation, but I don't know all the details, so I'm not going to make any kind of wild accusations.
Yeah.
On this occasion.
Well, after the show, we're gonna cuss out whoever we can. You can recover the relationship. Yeah, I guess. Like, yeah, Space Marines to the rescue. That's never a thing. Yeah, there you go. Have that one for free. Laser Force app with all this cool functionality would be really, really cool. For growing a regular customer base. This is what Chick Laser Tag System developed, and some of our Laser Force players actually thought about creating a live tracking system. Yeah, it's something that gets talked about all the time.
So to give you an idea of how far back this idea has been thrown around, I can remember back in like 98, 99 in Sacramento, this idea being thrown around, and at the time, there the ownership in Sacramento and some of their friends did some investigation, kind of see like if it was viable. And at the time, the technology was so new to do the thing that it was prohibitively expensive.
And
Here
even
we are.
then, not particularly accurate.
Yeah, it just did not work in any way, shape, or form for the thing that we wanted to use it for. And now here we are,
2 decades later.
two decades later, and the cost of the equipment needed to do the things is reasonable and possible. So yeah, it's definitely been talked about for ages. Hasn't been practical until now-ish.
You wish you could see the laser firing thing that you guys talked about one of the systems doing a while back. I'm not sure what that is. Do you remember what he's talking about?
I think Tiger's talking about the kind of rudimentary zone interface they talked about, where you could sort of see people in quote unquote real time, like just as dots moving around, but actually being able to track shot data as to who's shooting who at a given point. That would obviously be cool.
I mean, surely you could do that on delay even. I don't know. I'm not a science man. But right. Well, that would be pretty cool. That app, some sort of companion app to Gen 8 would, to me, it just makes lots of sense for them to develop something like that. Because surely it's not super expensive. I don't know. I'm not a science man, but
speaking of wild accusations, how hard could it be? Just make an app.
Yeah, Russ, just make an app, bro. Just make an app.
Because this is like 2011, when much like podcasts now, every idiot was making an app.
You want me to help? Do you want to help develop an app? Well, I can't remember what it is. Right, I had another idea. This one was spawned out of doing sort of a video during one of the games in Brisbane. Some sort of phone mount or camera mount or something built into the phaser, where you could record like record yourself and post videos of yourself playing laser tag to social media, because I think like there's actually a like not a whole lot of that kind of content available outside of our community on YouTube. Like for a while I was searching like GoPro videos and stuff for Laser Force and couldn't find anything outside of the Auckland Laser Force. This is pre Loveland doing their one, so yeah. But I was like, maybe it's like maybe it's an attachment, so just a little plastic like hand essentially that's used for phasers, not anything else. It clips on the gun.
Yeah, you're already talking about people making their own videos and posting stuff, so it's just a sign of the degeneracy of our times that I'm just like, there's gonna be a very niche Laser Force OnlyFans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called a
Minotaur.
phaser light. I'll figure that one out. I'll get it.
Workshop it.
It's like,
We'll
well,
workshop
Go back
it's
to the
fine.
drawing board. On
No,
that
no,
one.
I've got it. It's flashlight, but spelled PH. Boom, nailed it. Moving on.
Another winner, Steve Lawn.
Wait, once again, my consultancy fee, Laser Force Corporate, is pretty low. So feel free to bring me on, and I'll do a great job for you.
It's worth about as much as we get paid for this show.
Do you guys have any? Did you guys have any sort of ideas for stuff that would be cool to see Laser Force, implement on like a system?
I mean, mine is not useful at all from a revenue perspective,
Perfect.
but selfishly, it's based a little bit on what we've talked about. That if you have that kind of data about where someone's moved, how far someone's moved, where someone gets deactivated, all that kind of stuff. This sort of spun out of some conversations that I had, both with Luke and also with Leech after Nats, where it would be cool if the vests, if we developed some way for you to know that when a player is put down, that if someone goes in their same direction, that it would literally not let you target that person if you've gone more than 3 meters. So if like an anti-chasing algorithm was built into the vest. Now, I really don't know how practical that actually is. I'm even less of a science engineer than Steve over here is, so I don't know how feasible it is. But I'm like, theoretically speaking, if you could track that kind of thing, where someone is when they're deactivated, and whether or not someone is traveling on quote unquote their same path, if you could get stuff leveled down to that kind of specificity, such that you were actively able to track that kind of stuff, it would be awesome if we didn't have to have refs make that call. If all of a sudden, you just try to target somebody, you got maybe like the negative tone lock instead, or it just wouldn't let you shoot. So it's like, oh, okay, they must have gone more than 3 meters. And, then I can only imagine when stuff starts to break down a little bit. I had gone 3 meters and the thing didn't protect me. I didn't get my safe time. That's some bullshit. But, not like that's any worse than complaining to the refs currently.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just...
I like that. Like, I think right off the bat, figuring out when people take alternative paths, like figuring that kind of thing out, or like when a wall kind of separates, a path or something.
Yeah.
But
I think
man,
it would require more installation in the field though, because I think you would need to install something in like a wall to tell it that yes, this is a barrier. So this
almost
breaks in this path.
like a full augmented like it would need to basically have a mapped out version of the maze in its own system, and so therefore it would know, all right, well that's blocked by this wall because we know that it's there, and yada yada yada. But man, that would be cool. That'd be really cool.
I don't think it's practical or necessarily on the horizon, but I'm just like, theoretically speaking, I at least feel more confident in saying that type of thing is within the realm of possibility than I did 15 years ago. Where it was like, no, I'm never going to be able to do anything like that.
That'd be sweet.
It'd be sweet, but yeah, the additional hardware requirements in field. I mean, yeah. If we're talking about
Troy.
Things that, things that we want, but also, yeah, it's such a niche.
That one is.
Yeah,
sure.
that
That would
one's
benefit
so
us.
so niche.
Yeah.
So,
That would be-
In Scorpion's spare time, I'm sure he can just go ahead and devise a system for tracking the real-time location, distance, and speed of all the players in the field.
That would be one of those things where, somebody in the community wins one of those big fuck off Powerball lotto awards and goes for us and says, "Here's X amount of money. I want this feature. Here is do the thing. Here is lots of money. I don't care that it's not a revenue generator. I want it."
Yeah.
That's like the only way that's happening, I think.
I did bring it up in Tivia show again, and if you want to look at the show that we did on Tivia's podcast this week, especially Tivia in chat, I talked about it, but one thing that would be really cool was a touchscreen spellbook option for D&D, or something like that, utilizing the touchscreen for that. I mean, it's pretty, when they made the change, so spellcasting now is real quick, so I think
it's way easier than
way
it was,
easier,
for sure.
yeah. But like being able to see your spell, downtime, or how much mana you have, or whatever, all that kind of stuff would be really cool. That might take away, it's sort of on par with like showing lives and shots in the Space Marines and the old school players being like, back of my day.
But to me, like, some of that stuff is even more foundational to the way that D&D plays as a laser tag game than stuff like shots and lives are for Space Marines.
Yeah.
Like, those are things that you need to, like, in order to form coherent decisions, you kind of need to have that sort of timing down. And with experience, you do kind of get that. Then I'm like, okay, it's
But you're
been
guessing
roughly
a lot
about
of the
as much
time.
time as I can cast injure or heal.
Yeah.
And there's not really any penalty aside from not being able to shoot to scrolling through your spell book constantly. But
except for
but I think that would be a positive thing, though, if you could
Yeah.
at least see readouts for mana, for spell timers, for lives, for all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly right, Troy. It's not on you guys don't play it, so you don't care. But yeah, like seeing that stuff. I think mana, especially because you get, it uses mana to enter your spell book. So if you're right on, the cusp of being able to cast a higher level spell, but you're entering the spell book uses that little bit of mana, then you're cycling until you gain it back. So
that's why you only cast high level spells right after you level.
that's exactly right. Shield or nothing, baby. That's one thing I think would be really cool. But it's one of those nice twos. Probably not going to happen. It's about as likely as Laser Force developing an app, but whatever.
So apologies if you covered this sometime during the podcast with Jared. I was only listening to it in the background, I'm afraid, so I didn't pay 100% attention.
I wouldn't listen to the show either.
What were like your typical like distance traveled stuff like that when you were playing the Space Marines on the nights?
So for me, I didn't see the distance travel because one thing that is annoying with the way that it works is if you get killed out of a Space Marines game, your phaser turns off. So you can't go back and retroactively look at your distances. But the thing that does appear on the scoreboard is steps. And so at the end of the game, it had a full readout of how many steps each person has done. And by the looks, most of the time, commanders are sitting at, or at least the MAs were sitting at around sort of somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 steps in a game. Heavies, a good heavy, probably about the same, somewhere around the 1,000 step mark. Scouts, so scouts were sort of sitting between 800 to 1,000 as well. For me though, I was consistently around the 400 to 500.
So see, this gives us all kinds of new training data to
100%. Like, hey, bro.
Like, hey, new player.
Up to.
Put your head out of your ass and move around the maze.
Yeah, but I mean,
give me 3 laps right now.
Honestly, that's the thing though. Like, you can see. Hey, like you only did like 300 steps. You were in the resupply for too long. Like you need to push out. You back here too often. Yeah, that was one thing. Lucy's step count seemed to always be consistently quite high.
Can't imagine why.
You did less than 180 as a medic. Yeah, so I think I saw like medics sitting around that 300 mark, which again is understandable. I didn't pay attention to the ammo, but I think it was around sort of 500 to 600. But yeah, it's another added. Oh, dude, it got me so excited when I saw it because there's so much that it can do for multiple player types. So like
Yeah.
for the player that's there as a little bit of cardio, trying to I want to be active like once or twice a week. You can properly track how active you're being in a game, or hopefully over the course of a night. And this would be really good reason why they should, have an accumulative total somewhere accessible somewhere. But to be able to see, okay, well, I did this many steps over a game, or I did this many steps over the course of a night. Awesome. I feel like I, probably did a good workout. It's a good, like you said, it's good training for newer players who may not be running around as much as they should be.
Or at least gives you a frame of comparison. Because if you had, a newer player who was only taking 500 steps a game, and you could point to somebody like another scout, somebody who regularly scores more than them, and you can see like either A, do they have a lot more steps? Are they moving around a lot? Or do they actually have a similar number of steps, but they scored way more points? In which case, it might also be, well, let's look at your positioning too.
Yep.
Where are you standing? Since you're not moving around all that much, maybe just where you're choosing to stand is not a great place. Whereas, okay, you don't want to move around a whole bunch, but maybe let's talk about where you're positioning yourself better.
One of the games that I played I was a scout. I think I still only did like 600 steps, but I got like $8,000 because I camped in the helm the whole night.
Solid strategy.
Yeah, I was like, I get points and I don't have to move. Perfect. But yeah, it's really good. Like it's really exciting to see this kind of new stuff be implemented, because I think it has utility for more than one reason. But yeah, do you guys have any other ideas? I do like the and I think we talked about it earlier, the idea where you can pay like X number of dollars to have like custom avatars, or maybe a custom colored suit, or all this kind of stuff. But yeah.
So
as philosophically opposed as I am to DLCs that cost money, it's like, if it's going to be something that helps keep Laser Force profitable, I guess I can shunt aside my principles for a few minutes.
the only thing with like like a micro transaction to upload your own custom avatar or similar, I mean that's something that like is still probably going to have to involve staff clearing it, because I mean people are terrible, and we know that people will try to upload all sorts of
I was thinking more from like a curated
garbage
list of stuff that already exists, but it's like, this is a premium avatar versus this is a basic avatar.
Yeah.
But yes, allowing people to just upload whatever they want obviously is not going to fly.
Danger territory for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Finding ways to like maybe not necessarily monetize, but customize, like more customizable features on the touch screen, or the your chest screen, or whatever, because those things have, I would imagine, have a lot of utility. So being able to utilize them a little more and customize an individual's experience with the system might just make their experience a lot better. See you, Troy. Have fun. What he actually means is he's going to drop the girls off, and then he's going to go play disc golf.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Yeah, smart. That's smart. Yeah, was there anything else you guys wanted to bring up? Did you ever think about like some of this stuff?
I don't know. I feel like we've covered a decent amount of things. I mean, Tucker did mention in chat earlier one of the things that Laser Force did announce kind of pre IAPA was the some stuff around the suits being able to like enforce social distancing. So they can measure they can measure distance between things, and that's kind of one of those things that I would love to kind of know how that performs in the real world, and is there anything extra we can kind of do with that? Um, but that in and of itself, from an operator perspective, I can why do I have 4 people within 3 feet of each other in this corner? Maybe I should send somebody in to check on that.
Is your orgy? Sorry.
I knew we shouldn't have put the flashlight on there.
Few too many of those raves back in the Sacramento days.
Yeah.
That arena saw a few things.
You're not wrong.
That's not social distancing. What are they doing?
Zookeeper, those monkeys are killing each other.
Lucy and Chain Lightning and Swarm game modes work with this. Okay, so game modes that some of us have no familiarity with whatsoever because they're being worked on.
Save it for your podcast, Lucy.
at HQ. Hey, again, anything that helps add game modes that helps keep people interested and helps facilities potentially be more profitable because stuff is interesting and people want to come back, all for it. This is definitely one of those like, oh, okay, so they're doing a thing and it's going to be a while before I get to experience whatever those game modes are.
Kia ora, darling. I would, and this kind of comes back to how we kind of started, but if you want to kind of keep up to date with the stuff that is coming out of the IAPA, which is it's like a trade show, right? In LA, where, or is it Vegas?
No, this one's in Orlando.
Oh, right.
This year, it's been in Vegas before.
Okay. I think
places.
I remember it being in Vegas. Was like, it's just the thing that it's like what was it, The Big Short? But if you want to keep up to date with a lot of that stuff, I highly recommend bookmarking Tivia's website because she does such a good job with going into the weeds when it comes to different like tag systems. But also specifically for Laser Force. I would check out her website. And she's got a good, I would say maybe non-biased.
Certainly less biased than me when it comes to other laser tag systems.
100%.
Ew! What the hell is that? Pass. I saw a video pop up in my feed actually, and she was playing with this giant phaser. And it was shooting like smoke, but it looked like, because it had like lights and stuff lighting the smoke up, it looked like she was playing with a flamethrower, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
Okay. So that's a feature that we do need, also.
Yeah, flamethrower. Yeah, flamethrower phaser. But yeah, exclamation Tibia in chat if you want to check out her content. You need to do exclamation Tibia in chat.
But like how bad the fog machine already fucks me up when I go to Loveland. Like the first game, if they've had the fog machine on, it feels like I'm trying to breathe glass. It really does.
Yeah.
I can only imagine like everybody's phaser shooting out some fog. You just like do it straight into somebody's face, so you come into the resupply. Like, get out of here.
That mixed with the torch, and it's just like lighting the smoke up. Flashbang! Flah, 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 flah. Ah! The way that she shot the video though was that she's pointing it straight at the camera. And I was just like, oh, that's so unsafe. You're going to burn the camera person. And I realized it was just light. So it was pretty cool. It was very, very cool. So we may not be doing a show next week. Maybe.
We're not doing a show next week.
Yeah, next week is American Turkey Day weekend. So I will be out of town. I think a lot of other Americans will be out of town or enjoying a couple days respite where maybe they're doing some other stuff, but hopefully everybody stays
Turkey Day.
happy, healthy, and enjoys some turkey or whatever else is on your dining room table.
We probably won't do like sometimes I like to maybe do a show in that spot, but we probably won't do a show next weekend. But this coming week, we've got Killer Hannah from the community is making her way up to my neck of the woods, so we might do a show together. We haven't worked that out yet, but I'll be doing streams this week, so jump on over and come say howdy. We will be back probably the following week. Let's have a quick look at the schedule.
No, definitely the following week.
Yeah, definitely the following week. Although I think
we have a guest that week, so we kind of need to.
Oh, okay, sweet. We'll do a show the following week, first week into December. Yeah, it'll be all good. Y'all have turkey, we have ham. Oh, that's so good. That's outstanding work, Dolly.
I prefer ham to turkey anyway. So
ham sucks, but ham is cool.
Yeah, I'm not a ham man.
Not a ham man. Roast pork is better than ham. Just putting it out there.
Also valid.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm saying in that binary choice between turkey and ham, I'll generally take the ham.
Just
that's
eat
all I was saying.
Eat all the animals. Eat all the animals. We'll be on doing various semi-amusing content over the next couple of weeks. The just on the horizon is our 200th show. We're gonna work out some sort of cool thing to do for that. Don't know what it is yet, but
probably maybe
probably. Fuck. Excuse me. I don't know what's happening, but something's happening. Right. On that note,
that time to end the show sound.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so yeah, come join us for mildly amusing entertainment. But for this week, mostly good. For this week, I've been Guy Next Door.
I've mostly been DK.
And I've pretty much been Than.
Always confidently backtrack, kids. We will see you when we see you next. Ka kite anō.